Hey YouTube, I wanted to do a takedown video and a cleaning video of a Seecamp LWS 32 caliber ACP pistol. Here it is. It's in a matte Delfatti PH3 holster made out of shark skin. It's an in-your-pocket holster. It's really gorgeous holster. Okay. Just, fantastic piece of work that I'll do a review on later. Real small package, fits in your pocket great. How does it work in terms of accuracy? Let's see the gun. There's no sights on this firearm at all. It's a pocket pistol, and you can see here, this is what a group looks like at 25 feet. Okay, at a sustained fire, not really rapid fire, because on the range I was shooting at, they don't allow you to do rapid fire because a lot of people are morons and they lose control of the firearm. But anyway, sustained fire. I think if you put this on your chest, these are all in the lethal zone. So I think that'll work. This is what you can do with a Glock 26 at actually 50 feet sustained fire. So it's not built for target use, it's built for up close self-defense. So let's go through how you break this down. This gun is loaded. There is nothing in the chamber right now. There's a chamber indicator here that you can see there's nothing in this firearm. The way you would break this down is, let's try to zoom in a little bit here. You pull the slide release back, and this the magazine drops out a little bit. If there was a round in the chamber, you can now rack it back, okay? And to eject that round, then you remove your magazine. Now, and it's a 6-round magazine. Now, I can tell this magazine has 6 rounds in it, but now the issue with the Seecamp is that you can't rack it back because there's a magazine disconnect in it. You can't rack it back because of the design of this, I should say, also because of the magazine disconnect, other than about that much without the magazine in it. But it's certainly sufficient to see into the chamber and know that the firearm's empty. So let's take this loaded magazine, put it way over here. Now we have an empty magazine. Let me just insert the empty magazine into it. Now keep in mind there is no slide lock on a pistol this small, okay? And this is really just for the purposes of breaking it down. Okay, so this pistol is in fact safe. By the way, long double action pull, but really for something so small, hardly any kick, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun to shoot. All right, so there we go. There's the pistol. How do we break it down? Let's zoom in a little bit here. The way you break it down is you keep an empty magazine in here. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to get either a dummy round, or I use an empty casing, a 32 casing. That happens to be from a Spear Gold Dot. And I just rack the slide back a little bit, okay? And you can just rack it back, and then you insert the round into there, okay, like that. Now you have a hole here that you need to take a punch. I'm going to use an Allen key. Okay, so there's the hole, and I just push down, and you'll hear a click, and what'll happen is the magazine spring will force the slide up. Okay, now what I can do is just pull out the round and just lift up the slide, nice and easy, and bring it off. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now we have the slide. Let's give you a little close-up of the slide. It's dirty because I shot this. Okay, slide comes apart, and we have a recoil spring. It's nested. The double part goes to the inside of the pistol, in other words, in here, right? It goes inside here. And then you have the pistol itself, which is basically, this is going to be a basic field strip, fixed barrel, and it's reminiscent of an old CZ design, actually. Okay. So now you just get out your empty magazine, set it aside. Okay. So now let's go through cleaning this pistol. The first thing I like to do whenever I clean a pistol, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so you can see better. By the way, this is what you're depressing when you use that Allen key. This piece right here. Okay. First thing I like to do when I clean a firearm like this is just take a paper towel. Go to the grocery store and buy some cheap paper towels, and just give it a wipe down to get most of the crap off of it. Right. And you should inspect your pistol, actually, whenever you're doing this, because what you'll see is on a new pistol, you have no idea where there's going to be slight differences in metal fit that will might need a little bit more lubrication or break-in, and you should probably use a little bit of grease in those spots just to prevent the metal from galling. And you can actually see some of that here. And this is just a normal breakdown. It happens to every pistol. But let's see, like right along here where the slide rubs, there's a little bit of galling. This is completely natural, and you can't see it when the slide's on there. It's covering it. But those are spots you need to take care of. Okay. In the slide itself is really, it's just so nicely machined. But again, you want to just go through, bunch up a paper towel, and you're just trying to get the excess crap off of it, so you don't have to spend too much time cleaning it. My feeling on pistols is that if they're going in the safe for a really long time, you really want to be pretty thorough and really get them cleaned quite thoroughly. If they're going to be shot again, a basic field stripping is all you really need. What do I use to clean the pistol? I use this stuff, Ease Ox. This is recommended by Seecamp. This is really, in my opinion, kind of like a modern ballistol. It actually dries as a dry lubricant. It's a cleaner lubricant and preservative. How do you use it? All I do is take the parts, hose them down in some Ease Ox real quick. I take my barrel. I wear gloves, by the way. These are nitrile gloves, because you should take care of yourself. You're going to get exposed to a lot of these chemicals. They have some pretty heavy solvents in them. And you should try to, if you're going to be shooting for many years, try to limit your exposure as much as possible. You spray it in the barrel and just let it sit there. So we're going to soak the barrel. We're going to hit the guide spring real quick. The guide spring should take all of about this much time to clean. We sprayed some Ease Ox on it. We're going to take a patch, wipe it down like so, set it aside. Ease Ox, I'll go through a way you use Ease Ox to initially condition the firearm. This gun's already been conditioned, but basically once you clean it with Ease Ox, you take it, put a very light coating on it, very light, and stick it back in the gun safe. And then that will dry onto it. You don't want a big thick layer, it'll get a little goopy. And that will actually condition the firearm and make cleaning a lot easier. And it's, again, a dry lubricant. For pistols like this, you want sort of dry lubricants because there's not a lot of space and you don't want anything to get caught in there. So some lubricants can certainly attract grime, sand, even lint, things like that, and cause you problems. So all I'm doing is taking a patch, and I'm taking a plastic kind of pick that you can buy at your local gun shop or wherever, and going through all the tiny parts really well and just wiping them out. And Ease Ox takes it right off, and we just go in here, clean it up. So I'm going to finish this. Well, I'll just do this on the camera, and I'll edit out all the really long, painfully boring crap. But just a good wipe down. And the areas you want to pay attention to are this area here behind the extractor. Make sure that's clean, and the breech face. And the way you do that is just get yourself a brush like this one, a nylon brush. Okay, spray some Ease Ox on either end of it. Just get in there and brush it like you're brushing teeth. Okay, same with the breech face. Okay, just get in there and give it a good brushing. How anal do you want to get? That's really totally up to you. Do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. My rule of thumb is that it's going to be shot again. Just a basic field cleaning is fine. If it's going to be stuck in the safe for a really long time, you should clean it, lube the shit out of it, and be very, very thorough about the cleaning. The other great tool to have is a Q-tip, some kind of Q-tip. Just get in there and clean it out. Okay. There's always some extra crap that the Q-tip seems to pick up very well. And you want to clean really close to, really into the firing pin very well. You can see it's really not that dirty comparatively. Okay. And I only shot something like 20 rounds or so through this. And then get a clean patch. Change patches often, otherwise you're just putting dirt on the gun. Go ahead, clean the slide, all these little grooves, and this is self-explanatory. Okay, so the slide's all cleaned. Here's the frame. Again, we're just going to go over it. The frame doesn't get too bad. We clean in the magazine well just by taking a patch, wrap it around something, put it in there. I already did that. Wipe down the outside. Want to clean where the recoil spring goes. Take a Q-tip, put a patch in there, like so. You're better off using the wood end of the toothpick. I prefer wood ones for this very reason. A little better than a standard kind of Q-tip. Just jam it in there, pull it out. It should be fairly clean. Then you just have the barrel itself. In that case, I'll go ahead, even though I already put Ezox in the barrel, I'll stick some Ezox in there again. On this pistol, because of the hammer, it's easier to clean it from the muzzle end. And I just get a dowel, a wood dowel. I don't like to use any steel to clean at all a pistol like this, and you just push it through. Sorry, I had to do that off camera. The other thing you can do if you're super careful with it, you can use a steel cleaning rod. You better be really careful, so let me show you. Don't ever use a blank tip like this. So most people will use this as opposed to a wood dowel, and all you would do again is just push it through very carefully. You don't want to scratch the inside of that rifling at all. Okay, just go through it, clean it up really well, get yourself a fresh patch. And now let's talk about, while I'm doing this, I'm sure if you're a gun owner, you know how to clean your firearm, right? Dry patch. This pistol's design is a retarded blowback pistol. There's actually a little groove inside the chamber that when the pistol fires, the way you get the delay of the blowback, so you get good ejection of the spent cartridge, is there's a little groove. The brass will expand into that slightly, and it'll hold it just for a second. So you need to really lubricate that chamber. Also, you can go in from this end, which is a good idea. Really sort of clean out that chamber where it gets a little gross. Okay. So I'm going to clean this all up and get right back to you. Okay, so basically, I don't really brush out the bore very much with a brass brush. You certainly can, but if you just soak it in Ezox, you can get a ton of stuff out of it and clean it very well. So what I did off camera is I sprayed the barrel again, took a break and went and did some stuff with the dog real quick, and now I'm just gonna wrap it up real quick here. You don't need to stuff it through too much. That looks pretty good. Again, with these steel, I hate them, but what you want to do is just be real careful, and sometimes it'll slip off. You want to just be careful. It goes right through. So because not all patches are created equally, if you understand what I mean. Some of them are, you know, they're kind of people's old underwear, and some are cut to the right size, some ain't. That's just the way it is. Yeah, but that looks good. Then a dry patch, huh? And I don't know if you can't see it, but I can, and that's certainly good enough for government work. Take a rag. This rag is soaked in Ezox. Just go over the whole thing. Now, and we'll get to some lubrication of the Seecamp in just a second. Now, so that's clean. Now what you want to do is get yourself a clean Q-tip. Hit it with some Ezox. You don't have to go nuts. And inside the chamber, you can't really see it here, but there'll be a slit inside that chamber. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right in here. There's a slit in the bottom of the chamber. That's part of the delayed blowback mechanism or retarded blowback mechanism. Just take your Ezox soaked Q-tip and stick it in there. Actually, you can tell I did a pretty shit job right there. I missed that spot too. That's fine. Just go inside and lubricate that chamber. You don't want your first round getting stuck in there. Okay? Once you put that in there, just go hit it again with a dry toothpick, Q-tip, to pick it up a little bit, and that's it. Okay. Now, where do we lube the pistol? How do we lube the pistol? Well, I told you Ezox is really good, and what I would do now is take a patch, a clean patch, hit it with a little Ezox, just like that. Okay. Couple squirts, and then just go over all the metal parts, leave it on there. Okay. What you can do is once that's cleaned, again, the barrel's already been lubed because it's been cleaned with Ezox. Hit all the metal parts. This is a great metal protector, and it's got one of the best corrosive anti-corrosion or anti-rust properties out there by far. It's actually one of the best rust-preventing products. This pistol is all stainless steel, but remember, stainless steel will rust. It just, don't think as it's stainless steel it's totally impermeable to everything. It will have problems if you don't take care of it right. A pistol like this, you don't want to over lubricate. What do you want to lubricate? One thing you want to do is take a little bit of Ezox. You can spray it in top of the Ezox can. Get a little bit of liquid. Take a piece of Q-tip like this. Put a little bit on top of this stop mechanism here. It's better on camera. Let's focus. Okay. So this piece here you should just lubricate ever so slightly. You can just push it in a little bit. A little bit difficult to do on camera. But just take a drop of it on something to develop a drop and just put it around there. I'm telling you, you don't need a lot, just a little bit. A little bit. And I find people don't often understand what a little bit is. Take a little bit more Ezox, rub it in the slide. You can see where I'm working here. Okay? A little bit on the, and then along the rails and inside here. Okay? Now, so that's going to be it for our front Ezox. The other thing I like to use on all firearms is this Shooter's Choice high-tech. It's a broad temperature range grease. And the way to deal with this stuff is zoom out here. Just take a little bit of it, put it on a patch like so. It's very hard to control coming out of the syringe type applicator. But all you do now is take if you go and look at the pistol where there's some galling on it, which is normal, just go ahead and take some grease, and I mean a little bit, so it's going to go on there pretty thick. I'm going to wipe most of that off, okay? Don't go nuts with the grease, just a little bit. These small pistols don't like it, okay? It will cause you difficulties. So a little bit of grease on the slide, all the parts that are obviously wearing together, and you can see it inside the slide as well. Sorry. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, just hit those pieces very, very sparingly, just a tiny, tiny bit. When you put it on, take it off. You should barely be able to see it. Okay, and I mean barely. All right, that's basically it. Now let's go for some reassembly action. Okay, slide, spring, pistol. We orient the pistol in this manner. First thing you put in is your recoil spring assembly. It's nested. The double part goes in first. Okay, so make sure you get that right, or you're gonna have yourself some problems. The other thing on a Seecamp is you don't want to be pulling the trigger back when the firearm doesn't have a magazine in it. So go ahead, this is the way I do it, insert your magazine, and you only need to insert it up to about here to get it to work, so you can leave about something like 1/4 of an inch hanging. Now you just reposition the slide onto the firearm, okay, like so. Make sure you capture I'm capturing my recoil spring. Right here is my recoil spring with this part of the slide, okay, this bottom part of the slide. So go ahead and capture it, line it up, and this is really what it should look like if you're doing it right. Okay, like that. Okay, you see the way the front of that slide lines up like so. Once you're in that position, I just hold it in with my thumb, and all you have to do is now fit that slide back and just slowly bring it back into position. You can pull the hammer back because now you have your magazine in, and then just push it down. That's it. Okay, jack it back, put the slide back in there. Function test. Good as new. Give it a once over wipe with your Easox covered rag. Okay. Get most of the Easox off the handle, and then you're looking at a pretty nice looking pistol. You can pop out the magazine. I'm going to show you why in a second. There you have it. Okay, nice shiny pocket gun. Love it. It's friggin' awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our loaded magazine, just wipe it off. Okay, we insert it into the pistol. Yes, I'm loading a gun on YouTube. We're going to rack it back, let it slam home. There is a round in the chamber. This gun is hot. It goes back into the holster, and it goes back into my pocket. And that's where it lives. I hope that's helpful. I can't recommend these little guys enough. You got to learn how to shoot them. You got to learn how to take care of them. But they are a true heirloom quality pocket pistol. Have a good one.